For today's video, I wanted to take you guys to the thrift store with me to not only shop with you, but also show you how I utilize some of these pieces in my home to really get that high-end home decor look for less. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. One of the first things I was really excited to find was a peg rail shelf. If you're not familiar what that is, it looks something like this, and this one was just $4. Peg rail shelves can really be utilized anywhere in your home, but I especially love them in bathrooms and entryways where you'll be frequently hanging things up on and then having the ability to add decor to the top. But you do want to make sure to bring a tape measure with you to the thrift store to avoid buying pieces that just don't fit the space appropriately. So this one happened to fit the space in my home just perfectly. So now I went through several different spray paints to try to get the color down that I wanted. I tried charcoal first, and then I tried anvil gray, which has this blue undertone, which doesn't really go with the decor in the rest of that room. So I decided to opt for my good old faithful satin black by Rust-Oleum. It has the primer built right into it. So I did 4 very light coats. Whenever you're spray painting something like this, it's really important to change the orientation of what you're spray painting because you're getting in all of those nooks and crannies, but doing several light coats prevents dripping and gives you the cleanest finish overall. And because this peg rail shelf is going to be going in the bathroom and there's a lot of moisture in the bathroom, I needed to make sure I sealed it really well. So I gave it 2 coats of this matte clear sealer. And then for some decor, you guys might remember this little planter that I found, and I filled it with some dried baby's breath. And also for some artwork, I found this thrifted book for just $1 that came with 40 different kind of like coastal inspired prints. And I just popped that in a frame, and this is how our peg rail shelf turned out. The next thing I was really excited to find was another ombre vase, and if you have been following me for a while, you'll know months ago I found this very tall ombre vase and it was just $2, and then I found its sister for just $2 at the thrift store most recently. The next home decor piece I was really excited to find was this dual candelabra, and it's either made of steel or iron, and it is extremely sturdy, very good quality. And for me personally, I need to start incorporating more pieces like this in my home to keep things from feeling a little bit too boring and add some visual interest. Candelabras sold on high-end home decor sites are often very expensive, so the fact that this one was just $1 I was really happy with. And to accompany that candelabra, if you watched my last video, you'll know that I did several DIYs where I tried to replicate some Anthropologie home decor pieces. And for this one, I just took some spray paint onto this jug vase, and then I distressed it with some moss and some mud mixed with some water. And that is really just to give it an aged ceramic effect. And then I took some faux thrifted florals and I placed that inside of the vase. A trend I've been seeing a lot of on high-end home decor especially is rattan table lamps. Now it's either the shade that will be rattan or the base, or sometimes it's both. And I found this one at the Goodwill for just $8. If you're working with a tighter budget, it's better to opt for bigger and functional pieces that take up more surface area and also just make your space feel really purposeful. So this isn't just decor, it's a table lamp, but it also happens to be very beautiful. The next thrifted home decor piece I was really excited to come across was this paper wall art, and I only paid $6 for it. Now it still had the packaging from the big box store, and I believe the tag is a Home Goods or a Marshall's tag, and it was priced at $79.99. So for me personally, artwork is something that I change in and out as the seasons change, and I felt like when I saw this acrylic framed paper art, it felt very summer-like, and it would be nice to hang up, especially during this season. And after I brought it inside and removed all of the packaging, I just did the painter's tape trick. If you're not familiar what that is, basically when you have artwork that has two hooks, you can lay painter's tape across where you're going to need to make the markings of where your screws or your nails are going to need to go. And then you just transfer that painter's tape onto the wall straight across, and you get the perfect markings every single time. The next thing I found was the brass and glass holder, and it was just $2. I actually came across it in the Christmas section, and I just decided to remove whatever was inside and just clean it out really well. And the reason I purchased it was because if you remember in my last Thrift With Me haul, you might remember that I found this brass and glass box that I ended up filling with some shells. I also have this very patinaed brass pot that I filled with baby's breath. And the trick is you want to look for items that are made of the same material to create cohesion in your design, and it just makes it feel that much more purposeful and intentional. In terms of textiles, the next thing I was really excited to find were these woven napkins, and they were just 50 cents a piece in perfect condition. They don't look like they were ever used. You can find comparable things for in the $30 to $40 price point. And then I also came across these beautiful woven baskets. These would be great to give gifts in, but also if ever I find a set of 2 baskets that are this tone, I always pick them up. And we've recently finished our patio, and we've been doing a lot of outdoor eating and grilling, so I thought this might be nice to just keep it in the kitchen to be able to kind of corral items that we plan on taking outside, and it gives this sort of picnic vibe. I recently went to Scottsdale, Arizona for a family vacation, and while I was there, you know, I had to go to the thrift stores, and my husband actually found these beautiful drawer pulls that were this beautiful bone and patinaed brass, and they were just $5.49 for a set of 7. And drawer pulls can kind of unintentionally be really expensive, especially if you have to buy a lot of them. So the fact that these were less than $1 a piece is insane to me. And weirdly enough, this end table actually was a thrifted home decor piece that I picked up when I lived in Scottsdale, and now I put those bone drawer pulls on there, and I think it just adds a nice high contrast moment, and it's a little bit unexpected. And the other thing I picked up while on vacation there was a brass table lamp base, and that just matched those pulls perfectly. So I had a shade at home that I wanted to use, so I decided to place that on top. And I don't know if you guys remember my bone frame that I found about a year ago when I did an anthropology thrift with me, and this vintage glass bottle that I found for $2. So quite literally everything in this frame is thrifted, and I think that it looks really thoughtful, very put together. We're getting the bone from the frame and the drawer pull. We're getting the brass again from the drawer pull and the lamp. So all of these things are kind of speaking to each other and just feel really intentional. And that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to tell me down in the comments which find was your favorite, and give this video a big thumbs up. And I will see you next week for some Decorate for Free DIY projects. I hope you all have a great week ahead, and I will see you then. Bye.